Hello and welcome to Cozy Corner with Courtney. I'm your host Courtney. I knit and I've got some interesting projects to share. So let's get right on into it. Without much delay, I thought I'd start with the first project that I completed of 2024, and that is these adorable scrunchies. I'm gonna put them picture in picture. All four of the scrunchies that I made have found a new home around my precious daughter's hair. They wear their hair braided in 2 braids, so these scrunchies are actually a really good fit, and I think that they look great. I love them, of course. Yeah, oh my girls, they're getting so tall. What about you? Do you guys like knitting for your children or your significant other? Yeah, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And okay, so the second project that I made so far in 2024 is also gonna be from the same yarn as these scrunchies, and this is Elsa's blanket, or Elsa's blanket, I guess, whether you're using the correct toy's name or not. This came to fruition when I was just reminded of like cozy, like a cozy soccer game kind of mornings, and I was outside with the kids, I was watching them play, and their toys were having a soccer game. So I thought, I had just this yarn left. I had a surplus of this soft chenille yarn. That morning I decided to make a blanket for Elsa, who had just won her soccer game. And that way Elsa wouldn't be cold on future games. So I decided to do that. That was technically my second project of 2024. And next, let's dive into my 2 recent works in progress. I don't know if you follow Nitty Natty. I think actually probably most of you do. When I was in her membership, she gave us a space to post our YouTube channels and videos, because you know, a lot of us in her membership also had channels where we just like show what we could create and all of that, because you know, as makers, it's like we're making constantly and we just want to share it with somebody, and a lot of the times we might not really know who, or the other people in our life might not understand, so it's good to be able to share it with each other. The reason I mentioned Nitty Natty, well, one, I love her, and if you haven't checked out her channel, I mean, she's amazing. So there's that, but also she's made the Musselburgh hat, I can't remember how many times at this point, and it must have been around the time I started watching her channel in maybe 2022, late 2021, early 2022. And you know, I guess I bought the pattern, like, so I of course wanted to make a Musselburgh hat, because why not? You know, as Natalie described, you have this like, it's basically like a long tube of fingering weight yarn, but they have many different yarn weights that you can use, and they'll like, it's so cool the way the pattern is written. Like, I think you can use anything from lace weight to DK weight. It's just amazing, and it'll give you the gauge, like, or the measurements and proportions and like everything like based on your gauge. So I thought that was so cool, and I am so excited that I'm finally getting to try it. Like, I finally have the, you know, space and the like acuity to get this going. The only little issue that I had with it was the, like, obviously the cast on that they recommend. If you've seen this pattern or heard of it before, you've probably heard people talk about the cast on, and you'll see like mine isn't amazing, but it's functional. Okay, I'm just happy that I got it. Like, it looks like I got the stitches turned around maybe here. I did accidentally, I used a crochet hook that was larger than my needles, which I later found out they do not recommend. They want you to use a crochet hook that's like smaller or the same size. yeah, and unfortunately, like I just wasn't all there with it on that first try, but I'm so glad that I did it. Like honestly, I'm so glad and I'm so excited for this. I did something a little different. Like I guess I just got inspired watching Natalie's YouTube. So basically, since the hat turns up, one side can turn up inside of the other side, it's fully reversible. And depending on like when you want to color change or when you want to change even like the pattern of your knit, like you could do a rib, or I was thinking actually what could be interesting is if you did half in stockinette and then half in like a lace pattern. That would be amazing, because then the stockinette half would fold up. Like mine's still on the needles, but here's the halfway point. The stockinette hat like folds up, and like what I've done here is I did half, like the whole thing's in stockinette, but this is half like fingering sock weight yarn and half fingering sock weight yarn that's held with mohair silk from the Wandering Flock. And it's gonna be probably the side that I'll wear it on most, because these colors are definitely, yes, I'm loving the look of this. I wasn't sure if the mohair was gonna bother me, like being on the inside, so I thought I'd just, you know, go ahead and leave the mohair off of this. And also, I wasn't sure if I had, like, you know what, I shouldn't say I wasn't sure. I was sure I did not have enough mohair silk from the Wandering Flock in colorway Unicorn Magic to do all of this in mohair and then all of this in mohair. So I thought, perfect, like let me just start halfway point. We'll have the inside. I mean, it's gonna feel good, you know, on my head, like even though it's sock weight yarn, but I don't have to worry about the possibility of the mohair like being a little bit itchy. I've never worn mohair on my head before, so I don't really know how that would feel. But yeah, this way I guess I can wait to find out for another project perhaps, I don't know. Or maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, so this is what I'm doing. One thing I really like is how like here you can see like the Unicorn Magic from the Wandering Flock, and this is just a pastel pink colorway from the Lemonade Shop, where she had like the rainbow collections. One was called Pastel Rainbow, and that one's the one that I purchased back in 2022 around April. And I hadn't really, I've put this pink into a lot of things before, but this is definitely the largest project that I've made with this skein, and I really love it. I may regret taking the pink out of the rainbow later, but for now I'm really happy with what I got. I think actually with the rest of that rainbow, I may put like a gray with it and then make like a Even West fragmentation shawl. I think that would look really nice, and I also already have that pattern too. So just planning things out perhaps for the rest of 2024. But yeah, so this is what I've got going. You can see the Unicorn Magic, and if I put it like this, you can see like just the plain, okay, sorry. So you can see like the plain pastel pink and stockinette, and then you can see where the Unicorn Magic is added, not only because of the difference in texture, but also because of these little pops of color here. I might be losing the natural light, sorry, but yeah. Okay, and the like this closest colorway is Lollipop Hippie from the Lemonade Shop. I also got it in 2022, and I started alternating the pastel pink with Lollipop Hippie because I was concerned I was going to run out of this pastel pink, and I loved both of these colorways and wanted both of them to last for as long as they could. Especially the pastel pink. I was like, dang, I did this whole thing in pastel pink. I was loving the way it looked when I started holding the Unicorn Magic with it, and I just wasn't ready to part with it yet. So I alternated 1x1 stripes with the Lollipop Hippie and pastel pink colorway, and honestly, like on the screen, you kind of can't even see that it's like stripy. Like maybe you can just a little bit. But what I'm gonna do is, now that I've run out of this pink, pastel pink, this is all that's left of that skein. And I'm just gonna continue to knit with only the Lollipop Hippie. And yeah, and it's being held with the mohair right now, so that's why it looks fuzzy. So yeah, it's pastel pink colorway from the Pastel Rainbow collection that Heather Rhodes of the Lemonade Shop Yarns dyed in 2022. I don't know if she's still doing those, but it was something that she dyed. I was super excited for it, and I love Lollipop Hippie too. So cool, so cool. Mohair Silk Unicorn Magic by the Wandering Flock is the mohair that I used. And let me show you my next project. All right. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hey, I'm back. Okay, so what had happened was I left my project in another bag without realizing it. And around the time I was finishing up the first section of this video, my husband came back home with a takeout for us. So we all went out to eat. I went out of this room. Out was brought here. We all had dinner, and now I'm ready to show you my second work in progress. So let's go. All right, this color is also really great. It's also from the Wandering Flock. And this pattern, okay, so the color is called, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, the yarn colorway is Pistachio Cream by the Wandering Flock. The pattern is Leaves by Midori Hirose. And as you can see, it's doing some kind of strange things, but I know it'll block out, so no big deal. I'm really loving the lace. I just lost a stitch marker. Oops, we're gonna put that back on. There we go. And yeah, oh my goodness, look how nice I can see the lace now on the screen. I kind of love this. I'm one of those people that I wouldn't say I don't get intimidated by lace. I would not say that, because that would not be true. But I like simple lace, like lace that's like basically yarn overs and K2 togethers. And I don't really mind following a chart for that as much. It is taking me longer to get through. I started this in December. And I'm just, since 2024 came and we got some fresh yarn at Hobby Lobby, and it, like, yeah, I've been working on other things, so that's fine. But I did work on this some this year, so it is still a recent whip. And I'm just gonna continue kind of having it go on in the backgrounds of my other projects. Yeah, because lace all the time can be kind of daunting unless you're like really in the mood. Like, I don't know, you just have to be in the mood. But this, it's not like a simple like 2-row repeat. It's a bit more complex. You know, sometimes I'm just not feeling like doing something that complex, and that's why I like to switch to the Musselburgh here. And you know, so I think that's good. I have one project right now for each of my, like, you know, knitting designations as far as whether something could be designated as complex or not complex. Like, yeah, clearly this one has a bit of complexity. Not bad. I mean, I don't want to turn you off from it either. Like, in every even row is always the same. It's really the odd row where like the magic happens, and it's fun. Again, it's not too bananas or anything. I definitely want to instill in you guys that it's a doable pattern. Leaves by Midori Hirose. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I've seen like some shawls before that are just beautiful with like so ornate and complex lace work, and I'm hoping that I'll get there one day too. But right now, just keeping it kind of simple. That's all that I had to show you today. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear any of your thoughts on anything that you've seen. I'll be leaving yarns and patterns that I've mentioned here today in the description below, as well as my KoFi and Ravelry links. I'm not really on Instagram much anymore, but I guess I'll leave that there as well. Okay, well, it's been great catching up with you. We'll see you guys next time. And if you could, feel free to leave a tip to my KoFi account. And if you are unable to leave a tip, feel free to like and subscribe, and that will also help tremendously. All right, thanks.